Mindful eating. What is it? Can you lose weight with it? Well, the answer is no. You can't do it for everyone. It's not going to be the perfect solution for everyone, as nothing usually is in the world of weight loss. But for right now, mindful eating is really, it's a tool that can be used for some, but it can't be leaned on across the board. Welcome back, Weight Warriors. If you're someone who's on a fat loss journey like I am, or you're planning to start one, you're in the right place. I'm Mike. I'm a fat guy who's trying to not be fat anymore by making lifestyle changes. And in this video, we're going to be talking about mindful eating. And first things first, let's go over some definitions of what mindful eating is and really what it's all about and why it's kind of gaining some steam in the world of weight loss. So mindful eating is being fully present and aware during your eating experience. It's about paying absolute attention to the tastes, smells, textures, and even thoughts and emotions that you have while you're eating. So instead of really, and this is kind of where the problem comes in modern culture, at least even me, I do this too, it's a bizarre thing that I almost always have either the TV on, my phone playing, or a tablet's got something going on while I eat. It's very common to mindlessly gobble down food without even thinking about what we're eating and just, eat and eat and eat until, for us, at least for me, before I started this weight loss journey, I almost pretty much wouldn't stop until all the food is gone or I'm feeling super full and uncomfortable. So the idea of mindful eating encourages us to slow down, savor each bite, and really cultivate a connection between the nourishment that we receive and really our feelings of satiety and making sure that we're getting what we need. And in this fast-paced, hustle culture of a world that we live in, it's really easy to see how we fall into the trap of, we're saying we're multitasking while we're eating and getting some enjoyment or some decompression or de-stressing of the day. And so we might find ourselves like scrolling through our phones and, like I said, watching TV or even working while having a meal. But when we do that, we kind of miss out on the connection that we have between eating and, understanding how our bodies are feeling. And that, if you're not focused on it, again, it's much more likely that you will overeat. But when we engage in mindful eating, we purposely set aside those distractions and focus solely on the act of eating. So like I said, mindful eating has gained significant popularity in the weight loss community over the last couple of years, and really, again, for good reason, because now this is where I'll be a little critical, because it offers a range of benefits that, says it can positively transform your relationship with food, and a lot of people have claimed having significant benefits to the, even their weight loss journeys from it. They say by practicing mindful eating that they've become more aware of their hunger and fullness cues, and from that they have a heightened awareness that helps them make more conscious choices when it comes to how much to eat, i.e. it's leading to better portion control and overall satisfaction. Another benefit that's being claimed is that mindful eating can also improve their general relationship with food, so it encourages, again, kind of to slow down and to savor every bite, so you're ideally getting really the enjoyment of each of the flavors and textures. And this mindful approach really reduces the tendency for overeating, in theory, I'll say, because it helps us differentiate between physical hunger and actually feeling hungry and emotional cravings or, just kind of feeling peckish. But now I'm going to switch gears and say some of the things that makes me a little critical towards mindful eating and why it's not this perfect solution for everyone. So each person is different, each person's weight loss journey is different, so it's important to understand all strategies that can help us and be, essentially a tool in our toolbox that can get the job done when it comes to our weight loss journey and keeping the weight off for long term. So the problem is when you're like me, and let's say you're close to 300 pounds and you've been overeating for years and you have a really unhealthy relationship with food and that you're overeating and consistently having way more calories than you should, you really haven't built up the discipline or consistency or even understanding how you should feel when you're eating correctly. And so it's hard to even establish that connection if you're so far gone that mindful eating really shouldn't be a main focus. And that really, for me, I would not have had success in my weight loss journey so far if I wasn't tracking and getting data and understanding how many calories are in different things. Because if I would have started out with mindful eating at the beginning of my weight loss journey, I would have continued to eat the same foods I was eating, like, cookies, chips, snack foods, and I'd have been like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna savor each Oreo, but it's like, that's not going to get me where I want to go because I wasn't changing my habits around food more than just savoring every bite that I was having. So with that glaring issue that I have with mindful eating, and I know mindful eating is also, you're supposed to assume that you're eating whole natural foods along with it, but a lot of people are taking the good things that they like about mindful eating and forgetting about all the other stuff that they don't really want to listen to. And because of that, I think the clarity is kind of muddied when it comes to mindful eating, which is why it's not perfect for everyone. So if you're starting on a weight loss journey, I would not consider mindful eating as a step one. Try this first, unless you're in a couple buckets of possibility here where I would say give it a try. But for the most part, I think having good nutrition and a consistent calorie deficit that comes from tracking, exercise, and building the discipline and skills of understanding all the food that you're eating and really your diet. So these are all crucial aspects of a comprehensive weight loss plan. And again, it really starts with tracking your food intake, which again helps us understand our eating patterns and helps us to make informed choices of the foods that we eat. And again, you're not going to be tracking food forever. I think it really only takes probably a couple weeks to diligently track your food to understand get a general understanding of how many calories, proteins are in each food. Because you'll start to realize that the Oreos aren't worth it because they're way too calorically dense. But the steak is worth it. So, you eat more steak. And so, but you got to gain that information on your own by doing the work here when it comes to your tracking and, building this comprehensive plan for your weight loss journey. And now, mindful eating is mostly focusing on, of course, eating and the nutrition aspect, but it's also important to be getting regular activity in that supports your weight loss journey and enhances your overall health and well-being. And with activity, when we're talking about tracking nutrition, it's also important to see tracking activity to realize how, unfortunately, few calories you really burn when you're doing activity. People think like,
oh, okay, I'm gonna go on a 10-20 minute jog and earn this ice cream.
But it's like the ice cream that you eat is probably, 800 calories, and the calories you burned on the jog is probably like 1/4 of that. There's just this huge discrepancy in how many calories you can eat versus how many calories you really can burn efficiently. And again, you don't get this information unless you start really tracking it and understand that you can't outwork a bad diet. And it's pretty easy to have a bad diet while just doing mindful eating. But just don't take my word for it. Of course, we're going to share the research, the actual data to support these claims, and specifically support that research has shown that tracking our food intake can significantly contribute to weight loss success. More specifically, a study published in the Journal of Medicine in 2011 found that individuals who tracked their food intake consistently experienced greater weight loss compared to those who did not track, which of course makes sense. When you're tracking, it helps us identify areas of improvement and provides a metric for accountability, and of course allows us to make adjustments along the way with our eating habits. Another benefit of tracking is it really helps us build the skill of discipline and consistency, which are really the backbone of any successful weight loss journey, or really any successful just about anything takes discipline and consistency when you're trying to learn something. But really, when you're doing the tracking, it helps us to stay focused on our goals and make healthier choices when we're faced with challenges, and create long-lasting habits that, of course, support sustainable weight loss. So that's my opinion on mindful eating, and I would say it is a valuable tool in the weight loss arsenal, but it's not the most effective alone, and really should be combined with other strategies, and it's not for the, new person. Really, you need more of a comprehensive approach, and of course, like I said, I'm a big fan of tracking and getting data while you're going through a weight loss journey. But by integrating mindful eating along with the other effective strategies like tracking, exercise, and discipline, we can create a comprehensive approach that sets us up for success. And remember that each step forward, no matter how small, is a step that brings us closer to our goals. So start today. Don't get paralysis by analysis. Decide right now that you are going to make healthier choices for your life and your health by trying to lose the weight.